Hi, I'm Jen from JenThereDoneThat, and we have new travel updates for Puerto Rico starting Monday, March 15th, that'll be in effect until April 11th, 2021. We still have a curfew. The midnight curfew has been around for a couple months now, so we still have a midnight curfew. Restaurants and other businesses are allowed to open until 11 p.m. to give all the workers and employees a chance to clean up and get home by midnight for that curfew. Some of the big changes that everybody's been asking me about are the ferries. So the ferries over to Culebra have been running for a couple months, open to the public, and the ferries to Vieques have been restricted to residents and emergency personnel only. So starting Monday, March 15th, those are now open to the public again with proof of a negative COVID test. So it'll be interesting to see how they implement that, and it's probably going to be disorganized for the first week or two. So if you desperately want to go over to Vieques in March, it may still be a better idea to catch one of the flights over. Restaurants are now open at 50% capacity, up from only 30% capacity. Casinos and movie theaters are now open at 50% capacity. The actual theaters the amphitheaters and outdoor spaces are allowed to open at 30% capacity, but this does not include coliseums or any large events. I'm not entirely sure how they're defining large events, but the smaller theaters are open. The airports are going to be reopening. So for the last year, we've been running with only the San Juan airport. And starting in April, not sure what day, Ponce and Aguadilla airports are going to be reopening for flights starting in April, and we've already seen JetBlue make some announcements of flights resuming to both Ponce and Aguadilla. Schools are reopening on the island. About a quarter of the public schools are reopened, and they're taking a staggered approach to reopening. It's still up to the private schools if they want to reopen or not. Many have just said they're going to continue with online learning till the end of the semester and then resume in person in the fall. Prisons are now open for visitors. Elderly care centers and nursing homes are now open for visitors as well. And all of the residents are vaccinated in those elderly care centers. Of course, the mask covering your mouth and nose are still required, as well as social distancing for any public spaces, indoor commercial, buildings, anything like that. You will be asked to wear a mask, and they will usually take a temperature and provide hand sanitizer. Beaches, pools, bodies of water, rivers, lakes, everything we've got here are open. There's no restrictions there. They are limiting the groups, so stay in your family pod and try to maintain at least 10 feet away from any other groups, because we are going to be on the beach and you're going to take your mask off to be able to go and swim in the water and enjoy. There's still no alcohol allowed on the beaches or in those areas. The use of motorized watercraft is permitted, marinas are open, stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, all of those have resumed, and some of the tour groups for the kayaking and boat trips have resumed. They still have limited capacity for their visitors and tourists, but they're open and running. They may be at a limited schedule. Bars and nightclubs are still closed. So it's been a year of no bars and no nightclubs. It's going to continue for a little while longer. The AMA buses and Tran Urbano are still operating with the COVID restrictions. Those are our public transportation in the San Juan metro area. El Yunque Rainforest is still open. They are still requiring the reservations. I'll leave the link below. It's $2 per car, and you must reserve your spot or you will not be able to get in. The only trails for El Yunque that are not within that reservation system are Angelito. So you can still go and do the Angelito Trail without making a reservation to El Yunque. And they are making really good progress on the Visitors Center. So if you do make your reservation and you go into the park, take a look at the progress on the Visitors Center on the right when you first come in. It's pretty exciting. It's going to be gorgeous. All travelers arriving to the island must submit a travel declaration form. This is your contact tracing info. You're still required to prove your negative COVID test. This is the PCR molecular test, not the rapid test. And if you do not have your test results back, you'll need to quarantine until your test results are back, or you can choose to do the 14-day quarantine if you choose not to get tested. If you would like to get tested at the airport, they are offering airport tests, and these are $110 PCR. They're saying that those tests take 1 to 2 days. I think a couple people have reported it taking just a little bit longer. And you can do that at the airport when you arrive, but you still need to quarantine until those test results are completed. I'll leave a link to the video above about the actual process of arriving in San Juan and what that looks like for either quarantine or your travel declaration form. And that's pretty much it. We're open, we're operating, we're vaccinating. Vaccinations have been opened to individuals 50 and over now, and all of the residents in Vieques have been vaccinated, and they're really making good progress around the island to ensure that the folks that need the vaccinations first, the elderly, restaurant workers, the essential workers that deal with the public all day are top of the list, and then they're going to be working their way down. Hopefully I'll be able to get my vaccination this summer, but we'll see what the vaccination schedule looks like. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos from Jen There, Done That in Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, and beyond.